You guys have all seen lights like this, right? Of course you have. Well, it actually started years and years ago with a company called Skyray, and they made a light called the Skyray King. And a lot of you guys know what the Skyray King is because it was a very popular light. A lot of people had them. Even flashlight enthusiasts all around the world bought that particular light because it was a cool light. Well, a lot of companies in the future decided to, or later on, had decided to capitalize on that by creating their own version of the Skyray King. And of course, this is one of them you can buy on Amazon for like $46. It's got really good reviews, and it's supposedly 10,000 lumens, right? 10,000? It doesn't, of course, say it on the box, but on the site it does say 10,000 lumens. The problem with lights like this is a lot of people don't know any better. A lot of people that aren't flashlight enthusiasts, they're on Amazon shopping for lights and they see something like this that says 10,000 lumens, $46. They buy it. They tell everyone they got a 10,000 lumen flashlight, when in reality they do not. So this is the Semlos 10,000 lumen, that's right, 10,000 lumen, 12 Cree XML emitter flashlight. Cree Industries stopped making the XML years and years ago. The XML was created almost 10 years ago, a decade ago. In fact, it might have been a little longer than that. But they stopped making them a long time ago. They've been replaced with more efficient LEDs. So whenever you see flashlights that still continuously use the XML emitter, in my personal opinion, I think those are the rejects that Cree Industries sent to these cheaper companies to put in their cheaper lights, or somebody bought big giant quantities of these, basically these reject XML emitters. I think that's what they've done. That's what a lot of these lights today are still using in these cheap flashlights you buy from eBay, Fast Tech and stuff like that. But the second I looked at this flashlight, I knew that these weren't actual legitimate Cree emitters. I've been an enthusiast for a long time and I've seen a lot of LEDs, but I can definitely tell that these are not made by Cree Industries because these are actual clones of the XML emitter. First of all, the diode, that square diode that sits underneath that dome part, basically, the actual yellow square diode itself, they're too small to be XMLs. The XML, basically, the square part of this, the square diode of the XML covers the entire surface area of the chip, and these yellow squares are too small. So the second I saw that, I pulled out my old Olight i1, and you can definitely see right there, there's a legitimate and authentic XML. Of course, this flashlight's like 8 years old, but this is a legitimate and authentic XML emitter. You can see that the square pretty much covers edge to edge of the diode, or basically the chip, and these don't. But unfortunately, most people don't know that, and they automatically assume that they have a Cree flashlight. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with buying flashlights like this. I've got a bunch of them. Of course, I got a bunch of authentic and name brand flashlights, but I've got a lot of off-brand flashlights and clones and cheap lights because they're a lot of fun. They're cheap. If you break them, it doesn't really matter. But the only thing that sucks about these particular lights is the general population that buys these lights that are not flashlight enthusiasts. They assume that these lights are 10,000 lumens. And when you try to explain to them that it's not, well, they don't want to listen because they don't believe you. If you put this thing up against an ace beam, a 10,000 lumen, authentic 10,000 lumen ace beam like the X80 UV, which by the way is $550, it's going to completely annihilate this flashlight. That's really the only way you're going to prove to somebody that this flashlight is not actually 10,000 lumens, because I'm pretty sure ace beam is very accurate about their lumen outputs. And the X80 UV, I believe, is 10,000 lumens. And I'm using that because I'm using the X80 UV because that's the only flashlight I can think of that's exactly 10,000 lumens, just like this one claims to be. I mean, yeah, you put an authentic flashlight up against something like this that actually is legitimately 10,000 lumens, like an Ace Beam or an Olight or a Phoenix. I'm sorry, Phoenix doesn't even make 10,000 lumen flashlights. But something like that, and you put it head to head with this thing, it's just going to destroy it. It's going to destroy it. With that kind of output, you need money. It's going to cost money. You need good drivers, you need good heat sinking, you need good LEDs, you need everything in there that's quality products. And unfortunately, this light does not have that. So this light is not 10,000 lumens, not even close. The second I turned it on, I knew exactly how much output it was. I've been an enthusiast for so long, I can pretty much estimate the output. Never going to be spot on, but I'm going to be, somewhat pretty close. To put this in perspective, this is the Coast HP 450. With brand new batteries, it's about 1,400 lumens, which is still really good. It's the one I just recently reviewed, the XHP70 Gen 2 emitter. But these two flashlights are exactly the same brightness, almost exactly the same brightness, telling me that of course this light is only about 1500 lumens. But like I said, that's not a ripoff, that's not bad. This light was $46 and it even came with batteries, so it's a good light. Now, as for the batteries these things come with, as you guys can see, these Semlos cheap little Chinese batteries here, these are not bad batteries. I mean, they're not really the best batteries in the world. I certainly would not use these in a vape mod, or I certainly wouldn't use these in a really powerful flashlight. But this thing comes with 4 of these batteries, and you can use these 4 just fine, as you guys can see here. And the cool thing about this light, just like the Skyray King, is that it's wired in parallel. So you can use 2 of them instead of 4 of them. It doesn't matter. The voltage is going to be the exact same. Now, don't listen to the reviews. I've seen some of the reviews on Amazon and they are ridiculous. I've heard people saying this flashlight is way too powerful for these cheap batteries. 10,000 lumens is just going to fry these batteries. Well, yeah, that's the case if this was actually 10,000 lumens, but it's not 10,000 lumens. It's like 1,500. So 2 of these batteries like this at 1,500 lumens is not pushing these batteries too hard. Don't listen to those reviews. Half of them are ridiculous. So to prove that, I basically just took 2 of the batteries out and left 2 remaining in there. I put the light back together and put it on high mode and left it on for a little while and kind of played with it. The light itself did get pretty warm. The batteries, however, did not. I took the head off and I held the batteries and it didn't seem like they were really that warm. So at least the batteries these things come with really aren't being pushed that hard. But I would still recommend using higher quality batteries even for a light like this. So just like the Skyray King, of course the back of the head or the back of the driver is actually pretty good quality. It's not loose or wiggling. It's actually really, really good. So it's actually a pretty cool light, I have to say. It's really neat. I mean, I like the fact that it has a digital display on there. It tells you the actual voltage of the battery. Not exactly sure how accurate it is, but it does tell you. If you're in the market for buying this light and you don't want to spend $200 or $300 and you want to get something like this one you can find on Amazon, I'll even put the link down in the description for you guys. It's like $46 and it's 4 out of 5 stars, which is great. Just know that you can run both these batteries or 2 batteries at once and have 2 extras, or you can run all 4. It doesn't really matter, however you want to do it. I'm actually kind of surprised that they actually rolled the spring over, or they actually rolled the spring in a way that won't scratch the batteries up over time. You could probably get away with just using 1 battery if you want to, because of how this flashlight is wired up. So 1 battery should actually still work. Not to mention the fact it does work. Not to mention the fact that it actually is the exact same output, even if you use 4 versus 1. It's going to be the exact same output because of how this flashlight is wired up. But I would, of course, recommend using at least 2. So here is a nice shot of the emitters, those nice Cree XML knockoffs. It's still decent quality for what it is, actually. You pay $46, it's really not bad. Nice little display here. You got the little strike bezel here, which, you know, probably comes off, to tell you the truth, and it does. And of course you have but the switch is actually not recessed, by the way, so it's actually flush with the display, or the switch is flush with the display. And then on the back you have the charge port. And if you want my personal opinion, I would not recommend plugging this into the wall and then leaving your house. This is still a very cheap Chinese product. Not to say that China is a horrible country. I'm just saying this is a cheap flashlight and I would not plug this in to charge your batteries and then leave your house. In fact, I wouldn't even use this at all if I were you. I'd just take these out and put them in your 18650 charger. It just seems a lot safer. In fact, if you want my other opinion, I would recommend buying some quality batteries if you do happen to buy this light, because I just don't know if I would trust these batteries, to tell you the truth. They're too light. They seem like they're... You guys ever heard of that? There's actually videos going around all over YouTube that you can actually find cheap battery companies like this. They hollow out the battery itself and they put a smaller battery like a 14500 and they pack sand around it and they wire it like that. This actually could be not an 18650. This could be a 14500 that claims to be 2200 milliamps, but it's not, and it's just a 14500 that's been put in here with sand around it to keep it from, you know, wiggling around. That has happened, believe it or not. You guys can look up the videos. It's crazy. So yeah, if you buy this light, I would truthfully buy at least some good quality batteries. Buying higher quality batteries is not going to give you a better output. It's just going to give you, you know, probably better runtime and just more reliability, I guess. So I really hope that it covers as much as I possibly can on the Semlos. It doesn't even say Semlos, but on Amazon it's a Semlos 10,000 lumen flashlight, more like 1,500 lumens. But yeah, so if there's anything I didn't answer, just reach me in the comments and I'll try to get back to you as fast as I can. So thanks for watching.